didn't put it up, no way, he did. But he started off as if he wanted my opinion concerning the website. But I don't know how to put something out that that's not perfected. Yahweh Ben Yahweh taught perfection. You read his books, it's about perfecting your life. So our website have misspelled words and all of the little things that could be corrected, easy to do, but may or may not get done. I saw something maybe a month or so ago that he put out on the web that says, who is Yahweh Ben Yahweh Ben Yahweh? And he said that he is the founder of the Celestial Federation of Yahweh and the founder of Galilee. He's the founder of Galilee Live. The first person that got a chance to look at that little booklet that I had was Gadula, Abigail, Leah Salter, the Gideon family, my sister. When I was introducing black nobility to them, the first thing I did was talk about the Galilee Foundation and all the material that's in it. And if you notice, if you go back in your mind, when the Galilee Foundation website went up, it was full of pictures, and you didn't get to read about what the Galilee Foundation was until you get way at the bottom of the website. And when people I know with some intelligence looked at it, I'm not saying we're not intelligent, I'm talking about pictures. What is that all about? Because all they see is pictures. Guess what only appeals to the most? You. Because when I go to other people's website and I look at their pictures, I'm not inspired. I'm looking to read what they got, what they're talking about. What is it about? What are they doing? That's what I'm doing. Now, initially, when that site went up, he asked me for my account information, everything concerning Galilee, whatever else to deal with that. I gave it all to him. I didn't have no problem with that. I didn't have no problem at all. But don't you know it was Yahweh that blocked you? It was not Nardea. I was not at the computer. I was not in your house. I was not at your desk. You had everything you needed. And Yahweh blocked you from that account. Yahweh blocked it. I had nothing to do with it. How else did you get locked out of everything? I didn't do it. I didn't even know you was pulling a coup. So, he had to work real hard and fast to try to figure out another way to do his scheme. So he could phase out Galilee. Well, I tell you, Galilee came from Yahweh. And if you look on the site now, you will see the Celestial Federation of Yahweh, but it's still got it bold typing up there, the Galilee Foundation. But you click on the first donation spot, it says CFY. Why don't it just openly say the Celestial Federation of Yahweh? Because that's where it's going. You have to scroll maybe 3 or 4 spots down before it touches anything going to Galilee account. Why? Why even waste your time? So please understand and know that you have not escaped. Yahweh will repay you to your face. He will repay you to your face. And the children of Yahweh and those that are called by His name must know the truth, that you are a liar. You don't even know what it means that your word be your bond, and what it means to make a vow. The word says if you make a vow, defer not to pay it. Let me give you a quick definition of the word vow. Quick definition of the word vow. It's a binding agreement between people, a vow. There was a story I had asked Elder Yahweh Boaz. I said I was studying what it means to, your word being your bond, because Yahweh was teaching real heavily that, back, in the Bible, when the men of God were giving out blessings and what have you, it was done on their word. And you missed out if he gave the blessing to somebody else. He couldn't take it back. And the word said that life and death is in the power of the tongue. And he found that scripture for me. But I'll tell you the story that my father told. And most of you may have been there, maybe not. But if you were, the story goes that there were these the men that would go out every day in the field. And somehow there was a wager or something going on with them. And he said that he would kill the first thing that came out of his house. And he always knew that the dog was the first thing that would come out the house. The dog always showed up at the front door when they came up. But then there was this one day when they came up there, instead of it being the dog, it was his daughter. Instead of it being the dog, it was his daughter. He did not want to pay. He didn't want to take her life. Felt he was a little too rash with his tongue. However, he told his daughter what he had said. But his daughter told him that he had to keep his words to Yahweh. That he had to do what he said he would do. He had to keep his word to Yahweh. She only asked that he allow her a year to visit her people, cousins, family. And at that time, she would return. And she did, and he killed her. There was a lesson to learn in that. That was a lesson for us. That your word must be your bond. Now, Moshe started out with me. He made a lot of promises he has not kept. He didn't keep. And we had a donor to give a gracious gift to Galilee. And he asked me, what did Yahweh say, that, did he say anything about what, you all, what we should be doing, or did he say anything to you? And I said, yes. He told me that he wanted a school. And I said, well, that's what he said. He said he wanted a school. So he said, okay, well, I'll give it. You know, I would like to see the school too, and a temple. You know, I think we should have a temple too. He said, the school is good, the school is good. I really, you know, I like that. I like that. I called Moshe to tell him that I told him what Yahweh Ben Yahweh wanted, which was the school. And I said that I would like to name the school after him. And about a day or two later, he calls me back and said, well, let's not name the school, let's just name a department. We'll name a department after him. And I think, you know, he would like that. I said, well, those funds will be for the school, because that's how he said it. And he agreed that if Yahweh Ben Yahweh said that we have a school, he agreed to the school. Now, you don't go back behind somebody to try to redirect funds that's supposed to be for the school. And the reason we don't have a school online perfected in a manner that it should be perfected is because he felt that he should purchase a car over the school. I said, but it's the school money. Well, Sister Nardea, you ought to get a car too, because you're our queen, and you know, you ride in a van, and you know, our queen of our nation should be riding a van. She should have a car. I said, I don't want a doggone car. I want the school. I can always get a car. I prefer to have the school. The car will come. Now, some of you might say, well, Nardea, you know, you played a tape. I better play a tape. You weren't going to believe nothing coming out of my mouth because I have been discredited. I've been made to look bad. I've been made to look like I don't believe in the third day. I don't believe in Moshe because of his deceptive character, the flaw. So his speech was cute tonight, because that's all it was. An attempt to shut me up and for you not to listen. Now, do I expect everybody in here to, you know, run and jump for joy for Nardea? No, it's not going to go down like that. It says the wheat from the tare, because there's two kinds of people sitting in this room. Either you are wheat or you are tare. Bottom line. There's only two kinds. There's only good and bad, evil and wicked. But I kid you not. As you said before, Elder Naphtali, Yahweh makes no mistakes. None. And what you do in the dark comes to the light. So if it means this is the separating party, because this is the marriage party. The one you're in tonight, the one y'all been prepped on, to go out and get all the good and the bad and bring the guests together for the big party. Somebody at the party didn't have their garment on, wasn't dressed right. Somebody at the party wasn't dressed right. It's in Matthew 22. And y'all didn't tell me that scripture. Yahweh gave it to me. So I knew what kind of party I was coming to tonight. I think it was cast out. The mindset. Now, a vow is a binding agreement between two or more people. I had this conversation with Moshe in April 2011. A vow is a binding contract or an agreement between two or more people. Promises to perform certain acts or services to bring about certain conditions. When we commit ourselves to the same vows, we are united together. Once we are united as one, there is nothing that we cannot achieve. And I quote, and I tell you, Elder Amory, Yahweh's package was perfect. It didn't need to be changed. I will not be weary in well-doing, nor take upon myself burdens which I am unable to bear. I will not be faithless or insincere in assuming my obligations lightly or forthwith forget them. This vow teaches us that we must always seek to do well. At the same time, we must not take too much upon ourselves. We are to return to the days when our word was our bond. When we obligate ourselves to perform a deed for others, they rely on us. They may rely on us and even commit themselves to perform actions based upon us performing ours. When we fail to fulfill this obligation, they may suffer physically, emotionally, socially, and financially. Build trust, confidence, and sincerity in each other. Then there is Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 through 7. I will trust in the Lord Yahweh with all my heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all my ways I will acknowledge him, and he will direct my path. To enforce our vows, we cannot allow the sheep. This is what I told him. I repeated it verbatim to him. We cannot allow the sheep to trip, stumble, fall, or run into any obstacles because they have put their trust in Yahweh, the Yahweh in you. This is why we are to represent the Lord Yahweh properly. Failure to do so can result in us being stripped of this responsibility. Numbers 30 and 2 says, even though Ecclesiastes 5, 4 through 6 is not a vow, it contains a very important lesson. It teaches respect for the Creator of all things. We do not make promises to Yahweh we cannot keep. We do not make promises to Yahweh we cannot keep. Now, I'm scared for you. Why? The big payback. The big payback. I am so afraid for you. The big payback. Go back in your minds and listen to how the responses came in behind the big payback. I was asked by a sister while I was in California when it was on the air, Nardea, you can't let that go down like that. You know, don't you know what's going on in the air? You know, how can you do that, Nardea? Oh, wait a minute. I didn't. I was just as shocked as you were. The big payback. The worst show ever. And anytime you can be manipulated into saying the most wildest things on the air. Don't you know Yahweh ben Yahweh really died on the cross for you? Don't you understand that we could have been a Waco situation? They destroyed not only adults, but children alike. They took out the whole camp. From the eldest to the youngest. The entire camp. And Yahweh ben Yahweh deferred that from us. Just so that we may live. So that you could live. And my joining with Moshe Israel was about you understanding the God in you. You understanding the clone, the concept of the clone. And I told him in the beginning that there were 3 people that came to me, no, 2, telling me that they were Yahweh ben Yahweh. So he already knew he couldn't go with me, you know, he couldn't say that to me. So he put on his birth certificate, Yahweh ben Yahweh ben Yahweh. My daughter showed it to me. And I said, that's right. He is. He definitely can't be Yahweh ben Yahweh. The order of no celestial lodge.
Period. Not at all.
Period.
Better understand that, but no.
Now, what am I saying? We have Black Nobility magazine.
Well,
The name says nobility. Anybody that reads the term or knows the definition of the word nobility understand you have to come correct. Straightforward. That's how he came to me with Black Nobility magazine. I met him at my daughter's house. My sister's house. March 2008. And he kept calling me every day. Every day. He told me that he wanted to do a magazine. Well, I've been hearing a lot of people tell me what they want to do. He told me he had one before, and he wanted me to hear something. So he let me hear Yahweh ben Yahweh talk about Black Nobility magazine and it becoming into existence. I was so excited to be a part of a young man who wanted to do that. And had no problem with him standing out front. Because Yahweh really isn't jealous of Yahweh for real. For real. I had no desire to be out front. Didn't want to do it. But thought I had my counterpart. He can do it. And he told me up front, Sister Nardea, we should stay in the background, you're busy, you should be in the background and shouldn't say anything, I got your back. You got my back? You have my back. Now, when that program came on the air from Charibia and all that stuff that was said from his, from his perspective and the things that he had to say, it bothered me. It bothered me to the point that I called him up and said, I'm concerned about my safety. I'm concerned about my safety. And I don't know how he really feels. People do a lot of strange things, and they will hurt you because they love Yahweh ben Yahweh so much. And as far as they're concerned, I put him in the spot. But people will hurt you. They will hurt you, take your life from you. So I said, I'm going to make sure that I get some wines this time, and I'm going to call and see if I can get someone, to be a part of security. I know Barack out there in California, they are, he's a beautiful brother, blah, blah, this and the other, and I'm giving him all my recommendations. Well, at that time, they weren't really taken, not really. And Sister Nardea, I got your back. Elder Amory, he's going to be the captain, because he took care of our Abba when he was alive. And Captain David, they're going to be over security. So we're going to have security. You don't have to worry. Queen, I got your back. You're going to have security. Passover came around. I didn't have security. No security for Nardea. But everybody was securing him. I was threatened. He was talked about. I felt the threat. And I told him I felt the threat. So now we're talking about wanting for your brother and sister what you want for yourself. And instead of me having security, I know my father would have given me security if I felt that I was in any harm's way. That's how much he loved his children. I know that's how much he loved me. I'm sure your parents loved you too. And would not let anybody hurt you if it was in their power to stop it. I had no security. So I voiced it. I called him, I told him. I called Barack, I told him. When it finally got around to security, Captain David called me to tell me that he was going to give me some security, but that I would be drawing attention to myself if I had security. I didn't see it like that. I saw it as protecting myself. Well, okay, sister, I'll get you security. If you want to draw attention to yourself, draw attention to myself. I feel and felt I needed security. There's somebody out there talking wild. I felt I needed security. So Feast of Weeks come around. And I'm told who my security personnel would be. And I love this brother. He is sweet, kind, loving, has a beautiful personality. But he just got out the hospital. I saw a tube or two running out of his veins. At least that's what it looked like. He looked weak. But he loved the message so much he wanted to be here. And I'm told that's my security. I didn't even wait to bother the brother. I called Elder Yahweh Barak and told him what I was feeling. And I told Moshe. So, no security for Nardea.